are on. The pants are on. Okay.
As this scene is happening, we cut back to Bill, who is like trading large amounts of stuff, including dog meat shoes, for a motorcycle and another RPG. And he's getting on the bike, and H is like, "Where are you going, Bill?" And he's like, "I'm gonna avenge dog meat. I'm gonna have to take out Sherman, Williams, and Liz."
I didn't kill him.
And then he like cocks a pistol or something like a badass and slips it into a holster and just like guns the engine. And H is like, "Come back! You've got a life here. There's water, food, entertainment." He just starts riding off. And we can see like the trail of the Bilby in the distance, and then like the tiny motorcycle just following them, 20 miles behind.
It's a kilometers in Australia, so
Oh, sorry, it's however many kilometers that would
60
be.
kilometers probably.
That doesn't sound right at all.
About 30,
Not that many.
30 something.
35 probably.
Yeah, 35.
Maybe 32. Likely.
It's 32.1869. It's 33.33. Repeating, of course. Chance of survival.
Of course.
I'd like to see how he goes across the desert in a motorbike. You know what I'm saying?
That'll be interesting.
For now, the show is following the road. The road.
So I guess I'm going to set myself to actually fixing shit in the back of the workbench as we're driving.
So-
Let me ask what's happening when you guys are driving.
What's that?
Yeah, you're fixing something.
Yeah, I want to find out what the hell happened to that silenced pistol. Can I pick it up and roll things speak on it?
I don't see any reason why you can't.
Do we have like a navigator, by the way?
I assumed it was Liz.
Yeah, all right, Liz,
Yeah.
you're my navigator then.
What's wrong with this
Okay.
and how might I fix it? Apart from the fact that it's... Actually, what has been done most recently with this or to this?
You put a scope on it, bro.
Well, no, I mean, it fell apart in
Like
my
these
hand.
questions are just like.
Are
Sherman,
there-
Sherman,
so- yeah.
you see a man. It's very. You get the idea that you're a great distance from where you're sitting now.
Yep.
And you see a man dressed in like a karate gi, like a uniform, sitting on the floor in like lotus position, and he's like concentrating. And you see like flashes of your gun, and he keeps concentrating on it, and you can see him like doing this, and like the camera keeps zooming in and shows on the molecular level the gun is shaking itself apart.
Okay,
And he like has a nosebleed, and then your vision of that ends.
cool. All right. So I guess I would have to roll things speak... Or actually, I can just ask for the workspace. Like, how can I
Yeah,
fix
you
it?
can't roll things speak over and over again on the same object, but
Yeah,
you can ask
right.
on the workspace for something.
How do I fix it?
Let's see here. Let's see how workplace works. You're making a thing or getting to the bottom of some shit. Which one are you doing?
I mean, I have all the parts of the original gun.
You want to so you basically want to make a silenced pistol again. Sure, no problem, but the best
Isn't
you'll
it
be
just
able to do
reassemble?
is a crap version, weak and unreliable.
Wait. Can't you just reassemble it? I mean, it's a gun. It's like,
Yes,
it's,
but it has also been damaged on a molecular level.
Okay.
I mean, it's like
everything's all
warped,
loose.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I reassemble it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
reattach the scope.
Reassemble it. It does one less harm than normal. And occasionally it might explode.
How can I make it a better version of the original?
You're dedicating yourself to getting to the bottom of some shit then.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take the pistol apart to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to add a metalworking facility to your workplace first. You're going to need some serious like smelting going on here.
Okay.
You're already not in the Bilby.
How do I add a metalworking facility to my workspace?
That's not a question that's on that list.
I like flick open the I flick open the little the little window in between myself and the cab in the back, and I scream, "Hey, Mimi! Mimi!"
Mimi is like, Yeah, I think she comes up to you, and then she whips out the derringer she had, and like whips back the hammer, and puts it like right next to your ear, and she's like, "Gaza, if you call me a loose bitch again, I'm gonna shoot you."
Well, that depends if you sleep around with more people other than my mate.
I've
Herman.
literally only slept with Henrik.
Well, there you go. Don't
Why haven't you called him a loose man slut, or just slut in general?
You hear
You
like,
know how
What's
it goes.
wrong
I
with
am
you?
a loose man slut.
She like bangs the ceiling, and she's like, "Liz, how do you put up with this piece of shit?"
I look down and say, take the gun out of his face before I blow your fucking arm off, and then I'll respond.
Oh, well, that sounds like you're going aggro.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know.
Mimi, I had a question for you if you don't want to be a stupid bitch about it.
Let's resolve that go aggro real quick. Yeah. Okay.
I imagine you're doing this upside down as well. Like,
Of
for some
course.
reason, I
Every
just
time
keep
I imagine
imagining
her
like,
talking, she like
Yeah.
swings down.
You- I'm always you gotta imagine
Like
this is
side
Harley
hair.
doing it.
And it's side hair all the time.
Side hair, like going down, holding a Desert Eagle at her arm, and like
Yeah.
fucking take that pistol out
She
of his face.
she like index fingers the derringer so it rolls back, and reholsters it, and she's like, "Liz, you bitch, you need to just go ahead and sleep with Gaza. Let's get it over with." All right, Gaza, what do you want?
listen, if you want to sit on in the Bilby, you gotta make yourself useful, all right? You gotta help fix her up. She's a
She's
little
like,
banged
"I'm
up
not
at the
gonna
moment."
fix the Bilby. I'm a money manager. I'm an ideas person."
Well, then manage the money to fix the fucking Bilby.
She's like, "But it's not broken,
It has one
We're-
harm on it, doesn't it?
does it?"
You got
Well,
shot.
yeah,
That,
it
go-
does the
that goes
windshield
away. Did
Oh,
it
that-
have one harm last game?
Oh.
It did. It got
Then
shot.
it's been
remember?
fixed now because minor repairs on the road.
Oh,
What about
okay,
the?
cool. No, the
you
machine
need
gun.
a new windshield.
Yeah, we
You
need
do
to-
need a new windshield, but that doesn't mean that the vehicle's harmed.
Okay. Great. All right, perfect.
Tell
Well,
her
that's
not
all right
some
then.
glass from the
Yeah,
I'd
so
say,
like
yeah.
there's wind in everybody's face. There's like bugs occasionally getting into the cabin. So this whole conversation's actually been shouted at each other. And she's like, "Listen, Gaza, you're a fucking moron. Henrik is pretty much the only person with the clue on this boat here. I'm
Alex.
gonna help run things because I'm smart and I'm good with
I
money."
shut the door as she starts talking, and I sit back and I just light another cigarette.
And then we see a camera from the other side of the door, and she's like, "At least I don't have to repair anything."
Speaking
And then
of,
she goes back to the Shelby to make out
Right.
with Henrik.
can Sherman knock on the door at this point and go into the front cab?
Yeah, like you pass her, and she's already like unbuttoning her overalls.
Uh,
You're happy to go through that, man. Like anyone's happy to do it, but the thing is, yeah, you can come and go as much as you please.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm going up there with the sledgehammer handle
To fix the
to fix the radio.
yeah.
So sitting there, I'm just like fucking.
After a few minutes, you get that sledgehammer handle.
So
Lodged
I
in there,
like to
so
think
it's
that I
non-conductive.
go into the front cab. Sorry, I just want to do this
Yeah,
thematically.
let's do it.
Yeah, so I go into the front cab and I sit down in the driver's seat with this really long, like, sledgehammer handle, and I look at him and just like hold it out in front like I'm about to like thrust it into someone, and he has absolutely no idea why I'm holding a sledgehammer handle.
I'm doing the Fast and Furious thing where I'm just like looking at him
I'm
while
driving.
the car's driving, and I'm just like,
Because he has no idea this is what's needed to fix
and then I
the-
look back at the road a quick second, I look back and I'm just like, the fuck is that for, mate?
That's actually a good question, Arthur. What the fuck is this for?
It's a
You shove it
non-conductive
underneath-
material
Yo.
used to it's used to prop the wiring up without
just
getting
have to
set on
shove it
fire.
Arthur, I'm gonna roll
Under the
sharp
tape player,
just to read a
so it's
situation
pushed
to
up.
understand what he's
Right?
doing.
I think
That's
you
what I
can roll
remember.
sharp to read a person to understand what he's doing.
Sure, I will do that.
Let's do it.
Dude, I roll a 12.
Yeah, you do. Is that XP for you?
It is. Yeah.
Sounds like a good time to use it. Why don't you tell me what you'd like to read for?
Yeah, let me just mark down my free XP real quick.
I don't know that it's free XP. You could have failed the roll, man.
Yeah, and then what would have happened? I would have got nothing. All right, let's take a look
Crash
here.
the Bilby or something terrible.
Or the guy with the RPG on a motorcycle might have caught up with you.
Whatever. He's small time.
I
He
look
has an
forward to
RPG. No,
I don't know that many people with rocket launchers are considered small time.
Let's see. Read a person. So I get 3. Wow, shit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What does the character intend to do?
I intend to shove this sledgehammer handle where the sun don't shine.
Of the cab, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in the cab. It doesn't shine underneath the thing, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't shine there.
Okay.
Very shady area.
How could I get your character to replace the windshield with the one in the Shelby?
Ask me nicely.
But also reinforce it so that it doesn't fall out.
Also reinforce it. You're gonna need to provide the materials, and you're gonna have to ask me nicely.
Yeah, the Shelby. We're gonna rip it apart. Take the
It's
Shelby?
literally just going to be a back seat left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
it's gonna be like a little metal cage back
Yeah.
seat.
So basically, what I
Fake
want
out
you to do
bench.
is like, I want you to like take the bonnet off and then like reinforce like the sides of the windshield so that it's on the outside and the inside, so it doesn't blow out or in when it gets.
So specific right now. You can talk to him about that,
Yeah.
but when you read a person, you only have the material from the question.
All right.
Which is how can I get your character to
what is your
reinforce the
character
windshield?
really feeling?
I'm excited. I get to fix something.
All right. Cool. And
Okay.
yeah, thanks for that XP, Arthur. It was real nice of you.
That wasn't my XP. You decided to do it.
Can I roll sharp again to work out
No.
what the tape deck is feeling right now?
No.
Okay.
If you had things speak, you could roll that.
Arthur, can I seize
Well,
by
but
force the
technically-
wires that are underneath the dash?
No. Stop. Guys, come on. You're setting a bad example for the kids that watch the show.
I know.
You put
I
your
wanna
non-conductive
do
material
something,
in. As soon as you put it in, we hear you gotta walk down to Electric Avenue. What do, Gaza? You hear the sound that has mocked you for years coming out of the tape deck.
I just looked at it.
But more importantly, you see that the eject light has a red LED over it for the first time in generation.
And I like,
And then we got to party. We gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. What do?
I push the eject button,
It pops out.
and I'm just like, I literally stop the Bilby, and everyone, like, I imagine it, everyone just lurches forward, like
I
really
roll off
quick.
the car seat like into the little foot area.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I like take out the tape, and I'm like holding it, and I'm like about to snap it. I'm like, no, don't snap it.
Suddenly see my head sticking down, looking in. What the fuck?
You see him holding the tape, and it has like a piece of like masking tape across it that says Electric Avenue, like with an infinity symbol next to it. Holding it in his hands, and he looks up at you, Liz, and he's like, "It finally fucking happened, Liz."
Out of
Finally
curiosity,
fucking
is there like
happened, Liz.
a note written on this tape by any chance? I
Yeah,
feel
you
like
flip-
this would be a fantastic way for someone to spite you, and you're just
you
now
flip-
finding out
No,
about it.
no, I know about it. I know all about it. There's a story as to why this happened, and I flip it over, and I look at I'm looking at the Electric 6 Infinity, and on the back it says love, Keith. And then I'm just like I pull up the center console, and I put it gingerly like all the way in the back. And
I have a
slide
question.
down.
Can
Yeah.
I shoot it? Can I
As a
shoot it?
GM,
Can
I want to
shoot
know
it?
who Keith is. Why don't you tell us something? You don't have to tell us everything. You don't have to tell us a lot. Tell us something.
So Keith Bilby
Yeah.
was a gentleman that I rolled with back in the day when we were doing postman runs. He was my second in command, or he was the security.
Here's your ride along.
He was my ride along. He was my shotgun bitch, basically.
Just shotgun would be fine.
Yeah. And basically, we had a falling out about like 2 years into the 4-year stint that I did as a postman.
Was it
And,
about what tape to play while you guys were on the?
No, it wasn't. But one of the things he did, because he knew how much I loved driving around. It wasn't called the Bilby at the time. It was called. It was just called Truck back then.
That's reasonable.
it was just called Truck back then, and he knew how much I love like just listening to tunes in the Truck. So one day he took the tape out, one of the tapes out, and he like recorded Electric Avenue because I'd always like fast forward past that song, right? Because I didn't really like it that much, and he recorded over the tape with the entire song on repeat, and then he pushed it into the tape deck. And then he sealed it with epoxy or whatever. So I couldn't get it out, and I didn't know how to fix it because he's fucking Gazza. And then he just left off into the night, and he left a little note on there that said, "Gazza, enjoyed our stay together, you fuck. This is my last parting gift. Enjoy it. Winky face. XOXO."
You got
Keith."
trolled hard. You got
So
trolled hard by your homie.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I tell you guys a quick real life story?
Yes.
When I was like a little kid, maybe I was like 7 or 8, I had a bunch of mixtapes that like my brothers would make for me, and I had my favorite mixtape. And then my brothers were telling me that like I was keeping them up because I was snoring at night, and I told them that I didn't believe them.
Oh,
And
I
they
know
recorded my fucking whole tape, both sides, me snoring all night.
Son of a bitch.
Amazing.
Son of a bitch.
Then you made a mixed CD of your
Yeah.
favorite Flava
Damn
Flav
brothers.
and Eminem.
Mixtapes were super hard to make back in the day because you had to like fucking get it right.
Sit
you
there.
You had to get as
And you had
much
to
time as you get. Yeah.
Yeah, and like get ready and do it, and be like, it was like being a DJ.
Yeah. And so out of
It's
this,
actually harder than being a DJ these days, right?
out of the 6 tapes that I had, he recorded over one of them. So one of the tapes I now have 8 tapes, and one of them is just Electric Avenue, like repeated constantly. But it used to be something else. But I still keep it in there because it's still worth something. And yeah, that's the story of how the Bilby got its name, because I was so fucking annoyed. Because okay, so if we take a picture of the truck back in the day, it was like really nice looking. And Bilby now looks like shit because
It's been hand remade. Yeah.
I've had to like I basically just like I hated that truck for the longest time, so I didn't treat it with the respect that it deserved. And then it came full circle after that.
All right. Well,
So
you
I called
love
the
the
Bilby.
the
Bilbies.
camera, I think, the whole time has been on the interior of the Bilby so far. And now that Liz has poked her head down, I think it zooms out, and we see this. You're on a long, lonely road that's just in a straight line ahead of you. And there's these majestic plateaus and rock formations in the distance. Off to your left and to the right, it's complete open flatness. The sun is setting in the east, but the cloud cover is like dark and gray. Not kind of. It could rain, maybe not. Kind of muckiness. The sun is setting with that orange flare. You know, beautiful pastel sunset that's like being reflected on the clouds. And then you guys hear this enormous roaring noise out of nowhere, and it's rapidly getting so loud, it's going to be hard to talk soon. What do you do?
What does it sound like? Does it sound like
Where's
a
it
vehicle?
coming from?
Sounds a
wanna
lot
reach
like
it-
an engine.
Where's
Okay.
it coming from?
So I guess Liz is in the cab with me, maybe going over like where we're actually going to be driving because she's
Yeah.
the navigator.
Well,
or
she
whatever.
poked her head down when you stopped the car.
Yeah. I sort of figure out while navigating, I'm just sort of like hanging off the side of the truck upside down, looking at the maps with you because
That's what you do. Like
That's
a
what I
fucking-
do.
Yeah, I want to reach out with my mind to try to gain information about the situation.
Oh, really? That sounds like you're opening your
Yeah.
brain to the world's psychic maelstrom.
Yes, and I'm like just I'm like hold on, get off of me, and I'm like hear the sound and like
She
push me
continues
off
to
me.
claw her way up on you. But you enter
like,
the
"Hold
psychic
on."
maelstrom. What does it look like when you enter the psychic maelstrom?
Yeah, like my vision like chunks into like weird like squares, and then they like
The
dissolve.
Final Fantasy, the battle.
Very
right?
similar,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, and it's like gets reduced down to like the basic color that like made up that area of my vision. Then it's like,
You've been
yeah,
pixelated.
and then there's like there's stuff that I don't understand, and like instead of just like seeing things, there's like weird bars and like like fluctuating graphs and stuff that most of all I don't understand. But then there'll be like, maybe if I'll hear something and there'll be like an audio thing going and I can just hear, or there'll be like a piece where I can see things and I can like go into there and like, but yeah, it depends on what the Maelstrom shows me. Yeah, it looks like a super weird like graphical user interface, basically.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you make your roll? You hear the voice that you always hear, of course, demanding your
Yeah, it's like,
authentication
log
keys
me
and
in.
beginning handshaking.
Authenticating.
Yeah. Okay. What do I owe you on your 12? Let's
The
see.
specific.
It's good information about the current situation.
Something new and interesting
right?
about the current situation. Okay. Yeah. In the background, you hear what we would recognize as a Fall Out Boy song. So you're just like sitting in black space and you hear a Fall Out Boy song starts up. You've never heard Fall Out Boy before, and how would you react to hearing Fall Out Boy having never heard them before?
Put some Fallout Boy on and see how I react.
I guess you don't know who they are then. Yeah. Henrik, how
I'm
are you
probably
reacting
just-
to the sound of Fall Out Boy?
I don't know. I probably just start nodding my head.
Okay. You see like a ghost just floating in the air, and it comes down, and it doesn't seem to spot you, and like goes past you, and then it turns around. It's not a ghost anymore. It's a tuxedo. But you know instinctively, you hear like a chanting noise above the sound of the music. You hear a chanting noise, and it says, Utopia, Promised Land, New Zealand. Utopia, Promised Land, New Zealand. Just over and over again.
Okay, and I start to like slip out. I'm like grabbing on, trying to like hold on to the like memory and like the sounds.
As you
of
do,
the
the
song.
tuxedo tips its hat to you, and your vision shatters back into reality.
Oops, there goes gravity.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, and then I assume like the engine all of a sudden like much louder.
Yeah,
than it
yeah,
was a
it's
moment
way
ago.
louder than it was even 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I read a situation?
Yes.
You're welcome, Dave. By the way, you're so
Thank
welcome.
you. Yeah. I don't even know what I
Somebody
rolled,
give
a
me
9.
sharp. I need sharp. Clearly.
You're in your car, so yeah.
9, 10, 11?
Yep.
I guess, yeah.
Has 3 questions.
Okay. Also,
You don't have to use them all right now.
Advance, by the way.
Okay. Let me know what your
yeah.
advance is.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I advanced when I threatened Mimi. By the way.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Ask your questions.
So,
If you
so-
want to, you can hold them.
What should I be on the lookout for? That's my first question.
From above you, I think you see it coming down, is an AC-130 gunship that just drops out of the cloud cover. It doesn't have, like, standard issue missiles underneath its wings anymore. It's got, like, cobbled together junk missiles, but it still has an impressive array of anti-aircraft weaponry and a gigantic fucking array of, like, anti-tank guns off the left side. And it comes out of the air and just lands in front of you and continues to go down the road, like, a mile or so. And they're opening the back cargo bay towards you. That's what you should be on lookout for. The giant airship that just dropped out from in front of you.
Okay. Who's in control here?
Probably the person with the anti-air missiles.
Didn't I
Alright.
build you a grenade launcher at some point?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I sort of I park sort of a safe distance away from it, Arthur.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
but I'm sort of like, it's obviously the ramp is there for me to drive up or whatever, but I like pull out the safety cone and I speak and I was like, and who are you blokes supposed to be?
So I assume that you've like pulled right so that you're leaning left out of the cabin to talk to them.
Yeah.
The hold is darkness, and then you hear like a clicking noise as like lights come on from above, and like more lights are coming on. As you approach, you see that stenciled on the side of the aircraft is like United North American Space Defense Command. And below that, in graffiti, is written Bartertown. And a gentleman who looks like Cuba Gooding Jr. walks off the back. He's got a top hat, a monocle, a snazzy-looking... Wait, before you get to this. He's got a snazzy-looking tuxedo, a crisp white dress shirt, and it's all tucked into his Speedo, which is the only thing he's wearing from the waist down.
I'm rolling reputation right fucking
down. I feel like he's approaching. He's got his cane out, and he does a shimmy, and he goes, "Who run Bartertown?" And that is when we go to break. As you're
man.
reputation, and he's looking at you, and he's like, "Do I know you? Do I know you?
Do I know you?"
I'm about to find out.
All right, we'll be back in a couple minutes here, guys. Let's
right.
say 7.5 minutes. We'll figure out what the hell happens and what advances these jokers are taking.
And
Enjoy
whether
the
or not
music.
Gaz and Liz will actually have sex, because it would be really pointless if we did. But